Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about headgear and how to choose a proper headgear. Be right back with you. So hello everybody again, and today we're going to talk about headgear and proper headgear. We're going to go back on a little story. Okay. When I first attended, I served in the military, a lot of you know, and we were issued headgear, and because I served, I was on jump status, I wore a beret back in the day, which looked cool, but wasn't a very practical headgear at all for anything. So it's one of those things that, you see some people wearing berets, day-to-day life, and you see some images of berets being worn back in the day, like stocking type hats, but with wool berets, and they do keep you a bit warm, but it's just not the best headgear, I would say, on a practical basis. Actually, it's sure just compact, and you can sort of put it on your head and pull it back, but it's not really that practical, actually, a piece of headgear. We also got issued the BDU cap back in the day, and then the patrol cap. I wore that, and so those look good. They put some form on your head, but they weren't that great either until we were using boonie hats, and we'll talk more about that in this video. But we're going to jump ahead. And, I grew up wearing baseball caps and cowboy hats, and kind of like that. And the cowboy hat does offer a lot more protection from the rain and the sun. And in the summertime, it's best to wear a cowboy or a brimmed hat, a wide brim hat, protects you from the back of your neck and your skin from the sun. And also, if you're having a rainy day, it sort of keeps it off of your face and it keeps it away from you a little bit. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more also. But I'm going to go to a story. When I think it was like 18 years ago, I attended the Ray Mears bushcraft course 1 near Surrey, England. And this was the last course. Matter of fact, they had such a demand. This was like the last course for the end of the season, and they had a couple places open. I'd already requested before that. It was sort of as a birthday gift, actually, from my then wife. And then so I traveled over there, and it was like it was the end of November. It was the very last course, so it was autumn already setting in, cooler weather, no bugs out. But in the UK, it means more rain. So I arrived there. It was a beautiful sunny day, but that was one of very few sunny days that we had the whole time I was there. When I arrived there, everybody tended to have what we call a Tilly hat, and this is what they look like right here. This is a Tilly hat right here from a Canadian company, and they had these. Well, I had one of two hats. I had two hats on me. I had one was a baseball style hat, which I wore, and actually it was an olive green, but it was something sort of similar to this right here, actually. And I had it on my head, and then and it did absolutely nothing for me the whole time I was there. Just something on top of your head. It got a bit cool there, so we did tend to wear more clothing, that kind of stuff, but when it came to hats, that's what I had, and it started raining on us. Like, I think the first night or the first day, it was already raining on us, and we had cover. We were under for our classes, that kind of stuff, but just walking around, that kind of stuff, you were getting soaked, and I was getting drenched. I was always wet, back of my neck, just kind of like that, and everybody else was doing really well. I mean, some of them had those leather cowboy hats, but most of them had the Tilly hats, and the T3 it's called. Anyway, by the end of the course, by the end of that week, they came around, and sadly they didn't come around the first day, because I would have bought one the first day. But by the end of the week, they came around with like a store and selling different items from the Ray Mears website. And besides two leather belts, one for myself and one for my then wife, I picked up a couple of little small things, but I bought that Tilly hat, and this is it right here. This is that hat right here. All these years later, you can see on the inside of it, it's marked Tilly as your name. And back then they came with a flotation sponge type thing. Not sponge, but it was like built in inside the hat, and you can pull it out because see, on the inside you have a pocket right here. Okay, where's it at? Yeah, you have a pocket built in this thing. Let me turn it inside out for you can see. You have a small pocket in there, and actually you could, inside the hat, you put that you put that that waterproof that is a white piece of float type foam. That's what it was. That was inside of it, and I didn't leave it in there very long because it was a bit warm, and I wasn't worried about the hat floating because the hat's originally made by the gentleman himself who started the company. He originally built this hat around sailing, and so it comes with a few things for that. It's a little bit tight on my head, I would say now, and I have a newer one here, which I haven't worn yet. But it's not here. I just have such a it's a little bit different material. This one here is a canvas material that's completely water resistant, and it's waxed. You can even wax it more. I've never waxed it, and the sides button up on it. It comes with a drawstring, and that's built for when you're sailing, you won't lose your hat. And that was the whole idea. You didn't want to lose your hat. If you did lose it, it floated, and you can go around and pick it back up again. Now, for me, this hat has done. I mean, it's done great. I wore it. I've even worn it in the jungles of Malaysia when I did a trip there, and I've worn it on so many trips I've done. I've always had it with me. It usually stays in my vehicle, and if I go camping, it follows me around, and I just stick it inside my backpack if I need to. I'll even in the wintertime, I'll bring it with me and stick it, fold it up a little bit and stick it inside something. It's a great hat, and this is one that I would actually recommend if you want a good outdoor hat, the Tilly hat, and they come in several colors. And they come in different little weight of tissue. This new one's a little bit different tissue. It's a little bit lighter, I would say. Actually, much more comfortable, probably less warm. But yeah, I've had this one out here for a long time. Now, of course, there are other hats out there, like and here we got a mix of hats here, boonie hats, this kind of stuff. Here's my Army one right here that I've had for many years. It has the cat eyes on the back of it. I've had this on here for many years. I've worn it in Panama. I've worn it in the jungles, this kind of stuff, and other stuff. This is a Hungarian Army boonie hat from their former camouflage. And then this out here is a Vietnam era ERDL or ERDL wide brim boonie hat that was issued to U.S. forces in Vietnam, this kind of stuff back in the day. But yeah, I mean, these hats come in handy, like I said, in the wintertime, in the summertime, especially in the summertime. I mean, it's nice to have something on top of your head. This has ventilation. You probably could use a little bit more ventilation. I do make a model of this with a ventilated strip around it, which is not too bad. And what that allows you to, if you're hiking with it on, you protect your face, your back of your neck, your shoulders a little better. And if it rains, it gives a place for the rain to fall off of away from you. And that is a lifesaver because, like I said, I was wet. I was so wet. Constantly wet. It just goes from your hair all the way down into your into your shirt. The whole time I was in the UK, so I stayed drenched. And I had a hood, and I had a boonie hat. And I didn't bring a boonie hat, the proper type. I brought one of these Army issued fleece boonie hats, which I think are pretty crappy. They're lightweight, but they're not that great. And when they're wet, they're not nearly as warm. Here's a merino wool one right here I've got. And this one right here is much warmer. You can put it on, you can cover it. You can stretch it out over you. This kind of stuff, it really can be brought down or brought up. It depends on how you want to wear it, But, and this thing right here is really long. And I definitely recommend you having something like this right here, especially at night. If you're sleeping, even if it's warm, if it's summertime, you can, if it gets cool at night, you can throw it on your head, especially around the campfire. This kind of stuff is wool, it's not going to burn. But when it comes to just a day-to-day hat, I don't suggest, and I wear it all the time. You see me in the summertime, I'm always wearing a baseball type style cap, I wear them quite often. But if I'm going to be out in the sun, this right here actually is with me. It's always with me, and I tend to will carry that. This right here is nice. I like it because I do like wearing a cap. And I find this right here is a little bit warm because of tissue. That being said, I've got the new one here. And this one here is a little bit bigger size, which is nicer. And it's a lighter material. Really nice hat. My friend actually donated this right here to me because it was too big for him. And so then he bought another one, which is like a little bit coyote color. It looks really good, actually. And he's been wearing that one, and he's replaced his leather cowboy style hat with one of these right here. And it's a lot lighter, a lot more compact. You can carry it with you. But just a quick thing about hats, you know. I mean, it's important to have a hat with you, something to protect your hair, your head, just kind of like that, you know, keep the critters off of you. But like I said, and especially in weather like it is right now, if it's going to, because we have on and off rain right now, it's good to have a boonie hat with you the problem with the boonie hats is they're not water resistant, okay? They're going to get wet, and these are cotton or poly cotton, and they're going to stay wet. Water's going to get through them. But these Tilly hats, they shed water. Now, it doesn't say, nothing says you can't get a cotton boonie hat, you know, and if you get yourself a cotton boonie hat, you could wax it, you know, and you could wax the hat, but it's quite light, okay? It is quite light. But yeah, this right here is a really good hat. I've had this right here for many years. It felt a little bit tight. It's like my head's gotten bigger since since I got out of the Army. But I've got a lot of boonie hats. I still collect a lot of boonie hats. And matter of fact, the last time I was on vacation, I was in Czech Republic, and I picked up a Czech camouflage boonie hat, which I have over here, and it's very similar. It looks very similar to the Cry Precision Jungle camouflage colors, that kind of. So it's very similar colors. But anyway, but getting back to that, what's the practicality of boonie hat? Keeps the sun off of you, it keeps the rain off of you, and it protects you a lot better a sun hat or a wide brim hat does than a baseball cap does. So, or nothing at all. Okay, a lot of guys wearing bandanas, kind of like that. You know, everybody to their own. But I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why you bring a headgear is to protect you, and what you want to protect yourself from the sun, from the elements, from the light, from the weather. And then if it's really cold outside, you know, even in snow, you can wear one of these right here in snowy weather, and it keeps that snow off from going down the back of your shirt, this kind of stuff. So without having to wear your hood, I'll still wear that one on in snowy weather, this kind of stuff. Because I hear something like this right here or something similar. I have a lot of these, actually, these wool type caps that I'll always bring with me also for the winter time around the fire. If I'm doing a lot of hiking, this kind of stuff, I'll tend to take them off because you perspire so much to the head. And I do like to have something a little bit lighter up there. So it's a choice, but a choice that I would suggest that you make, because like I said, I see a lot of people, they tend to go the cap route, which, like I said, I'm still addicted to caps. I still have this right here sent to me by my niece. And I love this hat right here. It's a gift from her. And but when I'm really out and about, I'm going to have this with me, and because I don't want to get all wet, and I'll be more protected from the elements. But anyway, just a little quick short video about headgear. Be aware of the materials that are out there. You know, cotton still kills. Okay. So it does dry, but doesn't dry nearly as quickly as other materials do. There are heavy duck cottons, like I said, which you can wax, which are much better. And get yourself, like I said, some merino wool or wool cap in lieu of a polyester or nylon, some kind of material like that. You definitely don't want a cotton boonie hat, because it's not going to do anything for you. It's going to, as you sweat, it's going to get wet. It's going to stay wet, and it's going to get cold. And where a merino wool watch cap or stocking hats like that, this is going to dry out much more naturally. And if you're around the fire, it's less likely to burn if you get an ember on you or something like that. So it's much more protection when it comes to that. So be aware of these things. Be aware of the material. Be aware of the you know, what the functions of it can do, and just enjoy the outdoors. That's what it's all about. You want to get out in the outdoors and enjoy it, and the best way to enjoy it is to be properly equipped, and clothing from head to toe is very, very important. And now the weather's turning. We're autumn. We're going into winter, and the weather's changing. So that cowboy hat may not be the best thing, especially those arid cowboy hats with the mesh. You know, it's not may not be the best thing. In summertime they're good, but in wintertime you're going to want something a little bit more protection from the weather, from the elements, and remember they're what determines everything when we're out and about. So just be aware of that. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was a little bit educational. If you're interested in some boonie hats I have, go to my website at helvetiabushcraft.ch. I've got a bunch of them for sale. Matter of fact, these two right here are on my website for sale. I have one of each. I don't have any more. These are highly collectible because these are hard to get, and this is an original Ertl, and this is very hard to get. These are Hungarian, the older school camouflage that came out before what they're using now, actually. So be aware of that. And I have a lot of other boonie hats from other countries that are also on my website, so just have a look around. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I ask you to please subscribe to my channel, leave comments, give me a thumbs up, and share. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. I hope you all have a good one. By the way, one last thing when it comes to boonie hats. Gore-Tex boonie hats. Sea to Summit, there's Seattle Sombrero, which is made by OR, Outdoor Research. Excellent boonie hat. I have two clients of mine, two young ladies I get with every year, and we talk and I help them. I've been helping them develop their material, this kind of stuff, because they go on these 2-week hiking trips up in the Swiss Alps, and they finally got to, well, I think it was like a year, not just past summer, summer before that, they got themselves two Seattle Sombreros. We found them in Bern, and they got them. They're about the same price as what of a Tilly hat. They're also compact. They're Gore-Tex, breathable, and they picked up those, and they were tan color. And they sent me a picture, which I'll try to add in this right here, of them out there wearing those sombreros. I'll try to add it to this video if I can find the picture. But yeah, it's a really that's also a very, very good all season hat, summertime, wintertime, to wear, and it even has some little ear parts that pop down over the ears to protect you from winds and kind of like that. And it has the cords which they use, and it protects them from the elements also. So really a good hat. I've even seen pictures of Navy SEALs who are wearing them. They're out there. Too bad the Army's hasn't actually gone that route yet for a because we don't have just tropical. We have also, like what you see up in the Northwest, Alaska's kind of places like that, where you have these heavy rains, even in the Northeast, these heavy rains all year round. Even sometimes in the wintertime, wintertime, instead of snow, we get heavy rains, and you need something that's going to protect you. Here in Europe, we have the same thing. The lower lands, you have these heavy rains in the wintertime, so you need something to get that water out, away from, displace it away from your body, your shoulders, that kind of stuff. So excellent brand, excellent boonie hat also, or sun hat, or brimmed hat. So the Seattle Sombrero from OR, I definitely recommend that one too. So there you go. Two that I recommend, which is the Tilly hat and the OR Sombrero hat. They've been tested. I know people who've worn them and used them. I've been wearing this right here for 18 years. And I enjoy seeing people wearing it now. It was introduced to me the hard way. Like I said, really bad English fall weather, lots of rain. So I was happy when I got it, and I've been happy ever since. So anyway, back to the ending here. I do apologize. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, enjoy my channel. Leave comments down below. Give me your experiences with hats, what you prefer to wear. And if you have any questions, you want any kind of videos you want me to make, let me know down below. And I'm working on right now on making some videos about other subjects people are showing about. The last video I posted, which was about the food bag, someone had asked me about making a video for preppers. Well, you know what, for preppers, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, storage things, I mean, you have to be aware of other things. So I'm working on a video for that, for preppers, and how to properly store and your food and your expendables, this kind of stuff, and how to be aware of that. So I've actually written up a blog about it, and a blog. Yeah, a blog about it. It's on my website, helvetiabushcraft.ch, and you can look in the blogs, and I wrote something up, and there's just some things that touch on that. What I will do is make a video about that overall in the next couple of videos, and basically based off that blog, and then we'll discuss more about prepping and being ready for whatever could possibly happen in the future. Anyway, hope you all have a pleasant Sunday. God bless you, and I look forward to hearing from you in your comments. And you guys take care of yourself, and I'll see you at the next video. Goodbye.